parents, their child's safety is priority number one, and they do their best to listen to their intuition. But what happens when that gut feeling tells you something just isn't right? That is what happened to first-time parents Chris and Whitney when they suspected their nanny was harming their 11-month-old daughter, Rayleigh. Welcome them to the show. Nice to see you both. Thank you. And, she is delicious. Oh, my gosh, I want to take a bite out of that little roll in her arm, right? But only in a loving way. So wait, tell us, how many nannies had you been working with in the last year?
This was our fourth.
Your fourth nanny. Okay, and so what about her made you want to hire her, and what about her made you suspicious of her?
Well, I had gone to high school with her. We were friends on Facebook. She would, send me messages saying, "You have such a beautiful family. Just let me know if y'all ever need anything." She was really polite. I interviewed her when she responded to a request on Facebook for a new nanny. She seemed great. Rayleigh was loving her. She hugged her all the time. They played together well. Her reference was outstanding. I knew she had a daughter of her own, so we hired her. And my house was just spotless all the time. Rayleigh started experiencing separation anxiety. She was suddenly scared of her room all the time.
So how long was she working for you before you suspected that something might be happening, that you was not okay?
One day.
Yeah, it was pretty quick.
It was immediately.
It was pretty
Yeah,
quick.
and I just thought it was my, first-time mom. I was being crazy.
Had you had cameras installed at that time?
No. It took us 4.5 weeks to get the cameras installed. I just kept thinking, it's just separation anxiety, or, oh, she's just teething. She's just having a bad night, wants to sleep with us. So we got the camera.
Okay, and you got it actually in an alarm clock.
Yes, ma'am.
So it's really, you could not tell it was a camera.
No.
And it's legal. I'm going to talk to Ariva Martin later about the legalities of that, but so you wanted to see what was going on in your house.
Yes.
And was Rayleigh acting strange? You said separation anxiety, which isn't uncommon, but what else was she doing to make you think that she might have been abused?
And I didn't even think she was being abused. My house was just so clean. I know what it's like to try to clean my house and take care of her. I could usually get about, one room cleaned a day, and I was doing pretty well. And my house was spotless from, top to bottom. And so I just thought she was amazing. And that just kind of...
It was more of a neglect versus abuse. We thought she was being neglected, maybe putting her in a crib all day long while she was cleaning. Something, you can't do both. So we were looking and thinking more of a neglect versus abuse type of a thing, and that's when we got the camera.
Yeah, what did you see on that camera?
We can't go into details just because of the pending investigation, but it was disturbing enough that we immediately called the police.
And what did you do when you went back and looked at this tape?
I called the police, and she was arrested. She is out on bail, and I think that's as much as I can really say right now.
Okay, and how is Rayleigh doing?
She's doing well. We took her in for CAT scans, x-rays. She had to have her eyes dilated, have her brain checked for bleeding, just to make sure that she was okay. So she had to have a lot of testing done, but luckily we caught it in time.
And so what advice would you have for parents out there? I mean, it is, it definitely raises all of our, alarms that this could happen to any one of us. What would you say? What could you have done differently?
I would say lots of research, and also, obviously check references, but that didn't really work in our case. Always follow your instincts. I thought that I was just being a crazy first-time mom. Right now, we're in the process of speaking to the Arkansas State Legislature, that's where we're from, about getting a National Child Abuse Registry in place. In 2006, Congress actually approved a National Child Abuse Registry similar to the Sex Offender Registry, where parents can go online, anybody can go online, type in their address and see what sex offenders are in their, vicinity.
So you want to do the same thing with
child abuse.
I see. Okay, well, your beautiful daughter is here today. Can we bring her out and introduce her? Rayleigh, where are you? Hi. So after this incident, is she at all wary of people, or is she okay?
For a while, she was. Now it's just kind of hit or miss.
Well, today she's comfortable in front of a crowd for sure. Hi, pretty girl. Well, oh my gosh. Okay, I can't overlap that, but I want to get Ariva Martin involved. She's a family law attorney and a friend. I have to say, you're a friend at this point. Okay, what advice can you give us, Ariva? I mean,
I can't stop looking at the little baby, Ricki. She's so cute.
How could anyone harm any baby like that is
so
is
gorgeous.
beyond me.
Unfortunately, these stories happen more often than we ever want to believe, but they are real. And I just applaud this couple because they took action. They just didn't ignore their instincts. You thought something was going on and you installed a camera. Unfortunately, nannies don't have to be licensed. Anybody can be a nanny. You know, it could be a high school student or, you know, a retired person. There's no legal requirement in terms of you being, you know, certified or qualified to be a nanny. And the good news, though, is that it is legal to install a nanny cam and to monitor.
And to not tell them?
Not tell them. You can monitor what's going on in your home. You have the right to do that. It's your child, as long as you're not installing it in some place where a person has a reasonable expectation of privacy. Like a bathroom. Or if that person's a live-in nanny, maybe their bedroom is off limits. But in your living room, your kitchen, absolutely monitor what's going on in your home. So I'm glad you guys did that. So this little daughter.
And that's it goes for every state? Every state is
Every
legal?
state is pretty much legal to have a camera. It gets a little tricky, Ricki, though, when you want to record. If you want to do an audio and listen in on someone, about 15 states, California included, require you to get consent before you can listen. But just watching, you know...
She doesn't like that she has to get consent. No. You don't like that.
She's like, no, I want to be able to know what's going on.
Exactly.
Watching with a camera, perfectly legal. Lots of companies install these cameras. You know, we can put them in clocks like they did, and teddy bears and all kinds of things. The key is you have a right as a parent to know what's going on in your home. And it happens often, too, with elders. Another good thing to do if you have an elder that's in the home that's being cared for.
That can't speak for themselves, yes. Thank you, Ariva. More with you later. Thank you so much. I'm so glad she is perfectly beautiful and healthy. All the best to you.